All-American, baby.
Yes! Oh, I got her. That'll work.
Get in there, whoa! I just won the All-American!
Welcome to our post-tournament highlight show from the Potomac River and the 2019 T-H Marine BFL All-American presented by General Tire. From the Polaris FLW studios, I'm Travis Moran, joined here today by FLW personality Chris Jones and T-H Marine Pro, fishing your 4th year on the FLW Tour, Luke Duncan. Guys, thanks for joining us this week.
Hey, absolutely, man. The 36th BFL All-American, 36 champions. We're in a great place, Potomac River, the nation's capital. And you know, the past few times that we've been there, we've seen a lot of guys run north to the Washington, D.C. waters, the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, and catch a lot of fish. The last time the All-American was there in 2012, it was won there by Brian Maloney. But you know, here's the deal. It's not happening there this week.
Not at all. It's happening around the midsection of the river, around Mattawoman Creek, the Pomonkey Creek area, down to about Quantico Creek. We've seen a few guys run down to Aquia, but really that midsection is where it's gone down this week for this year's All-American.
But our anglers, a lot of them seeing this body of water for the first time, which makes for some different tactics. Why don't you break down, Luke, the T-H Marine roadmap to victory?
Well, there are 3 keys to winning on Potomac this week, I feel like, and understanding the tide would be first and foremost on that list. Being at the right place at the right time is so crucial on any tidal fishery. The second thing would be fish management. You've got guys, we've seen them all week fishing isolated cover, and we've got guys fishing grass beds. Those grass beds tend to replenish. The isolated cover might not. You catch a fish off a laydown, will he be there the next day? The third thing would be grass versus wood or other types of hard cover. What type cover will win the battle this week, and you've got to pick or choose which way you're headed.
And after one day of competition, the anglers, we saw a lot of different tactics play out. Joe Thompson finished at the top of that pack, but all the anglers, day 2, were ready to get back out and give it another try to see who was going to make that top 10.
The Potomac River is completely different this year. I fished it for at least 20 years now, and it's such a different fishery this year because the lack of grass, vegetation. Maybe there's one ready to go. Net.
Gotcha. Good one?
Yeah. Coming up. Get him.
Got it.
Yeah. Number 1.
That's a good 3-pounder, dude.
Day 2, first fish.
We've had an outgoing tide in here. A lot of these rocks are showing, but looking at the current around these bridge pilings, it looks like it's starting to turn the other way. Yesterday when I was here, this was one of my best areas, but the tide had switched, and when it did, it seemed like it turned them on, so.
You want natty now?
Yes, sir.
30,000 anglers participate in the BFL events over the year, and only 49 of the best boaters and non-boaters get to make it to the All-American stage, an absolute accomplishment just in itself.
It's one of the biggest titles in the sport, and you punch your ticket to the FLW Cup, the mecca of all championships.
And the Cup is one of the tournaments that every angler from the time they could pick up a rod dreamed about being in, but for BFL anglers and for most bass fishermen, the BFL All-American is one of the crown jewels of the sport in itself.
I think the list is pretty short as far as 2-time winners in the All-American. If I could squeak into day 3, it's going to be maximum effort. Maybe.
Where's he at? Was that better?
That's better.
All right.
Look at that. You see that?
Fell right out. You got him, though.
I'm kind of at the end of the milfoil section. I've been catching some fish here the last 2 days. A lot of small fish, though. We've been catching these 14-inch fish. There are some good ones here. Fish.
You got this.
Might be a good one. That might help. what you want right there, milfoil.
The Potomac River is known as a grass fishery, but how much did the grass play in this event?
Well, it played, but not a major factor. So the grass is growing, but it's not as tall as we've seen in past years. And I think that any top competitor would tell you they had to mix in a little grass with hard targets to survive the week.
Absolutely, and I think that the hard targets have been a major player this week. You saw Troy Morrow cranking riprap out in the mouth of Mattawoman Creek. You saw Kip Carter flipping docks. We saw Doug Thompson, the Arkansas TBF angler. He had a great day one out on that deep rock pile out there in the mouth of one of those creeks.
Absolutely. Our leader, Joe Thompson, a lot of experience on the Potomac, started fishing that grass, the vegetation, but moved to his main spot to catch those bigger fish, and that was hard targets.
You're fishing in at least 8 foot of water. When the tide is ripping, there's the indentations in the steel wall. The water's pushing by, the water's pushing by. The bait fish get up into them little cubby holes, and they just sitting there. And the bass that are there, they're busting on fish in the indentations where they can kind of lay back and get a little break.
Oh, God.
Yeah! Fish number 4, baby. Boom!
The T-H Marine BFL All-American is brought to you by General Tire. Anywhere is possible. Lowrance. Find, navigate, dominate. Real Tree Fishing, the official pattern of FLW. Power Pole. Swift, silent, secure. Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Triton Boats, the driving force of performance fishing. And by Nitro. Performance fishing boats.
Color?
The Potomac River is a tidal fishery, and anytime you have tides, you have current and current breaks, which is what Joseph Thompson really keyed into.
Current is key on the Potomac, and this bulkhead, which is basically an industrial area, it's got a discharge on it, creates a great current break on that main river loop.
Absolutely, and it'll create an eddy, which backflows bait fish against it, bluegill and things. And Joseph was just taking a Zoom brush hog and slowly picking this thing apart. Every little crevice. He was talking about the bait washing up against it, and the fish were hitting this brush hog on the fall. He did not let that thing soak very long. He'd reel it out and make another real precise pitch, but a great piece of cover to knock that current down on that main river.
That big one. What? Get him. Yeah! Yes, I'm fishing tomorrow. Yes!
That's 5 pounds, Hoss. That is a fat, chubby fish right
I'm
there.
fishing tomorrow, fam. Fishing tomorrow.
That's a good one there, Hoss.
Woo!
Potomac, I have some history here. I mean, tour event comes here quite often. I know my way around the river. I'm not a grass fisher, never have been. I'm a lot better than when I started. But when I first started coming here, I avoided the grass.
That one's big enough.
And so I looked for a lot of hard targets. Well, 2019 rolls around, it's All-American, and there is no grass. And so that fell into my hands pretty good because I knew where a lot of stuff was hard targets.
We just got big flat here off of this island. This is all a little bit of hydrilla growing and the milfoil. The little bit that's here and the fish are just relating to it because there's not much other grass anywhere. Fish. He ain't gonna help.
He ain't gonna help
maybe he will.
On that?
Nah, it's all right. He might help.
Sweet, dude.
I gotta think about this one a little bit.
Yeah, now you gotta do some adding.
He's not even a keeper.
He's a keeper.
He is a keeper. I meet awesome people. I ride around with like 5 or 6 different guys, and we had a great time. And I've met so many good people, co-anglers, boaters. There's a lot of really good grassroots people that fish these tournaments.
Get in. Maybe. Day 2 was moving day at the BFL All-American. Everyone trying to make that top 10 cut, fish on Championship Saturday.
And one of those guys that needed a big bag was Moo Bay, and he did just that with weighing in over 16 pounds, jumping him from 13th place to 3rd, making him the big mover, and most importantly, getting him that top 10 that was going to move on to fish the 3rd and final day. An exciting event here for the 2019 T-H Marine BFL All-American, presented by General Tire. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. As day 3 started, conditions had changed a little bit. Some cloud cover had moved in, the tide had shifted back an hour, and there was a lot of pressure on that field of 10, no more than the angler that had led day 1 and day 2, Joseph Thompson.
Absolutely, Travis. Joe Thompson changed with the conditions, and he targeted grass.
Yeah, he ran up into the back of Mattawoman Creek, not far from takeoff, and picked up a chatterbait and got off to a really fast start, which can be huge when you've got that pressure on your shoulders, trying to win the biggest tournament of your life. Helps you fish a little smoother the rest of the day and make better decisions.
It's called Marsh Island. You have the marsh, then you have pads and kind of like muck grass, and then you got real good milfoil and a couple other mixes of grass out there. The whole thing is, there's really no drop off. It's about, at low tide, it's a foot deep for hundreds of yards. Come left side, left side, left side.
We're at pretty much top of the high tide. It ought to be falling now a little bit. I haven't got it figured out how to catch them on a high tide yet. I mean, I think I just got to fish where the fish are, and I know they're here. Getting off to another slow start, but that's kind of how we roll around here. But that's all right. We're still fishing the final day of the All-American. That's all right.
Yeah, I am struggling. It's not going the way I planned to. I'm just hitting all the old spots that I caught fish in. And I'm just running around. I hope other people are having a hard time as I am. Are you mad at me, Mike?
What's that?
You mad at me?
No, why?
Yeah. Oh. Because I promised you that there was gonna be fish.
I thought you were just holding off to the last minute. Just saving the best for last.
Of course. Plenty of time.
It was called the grind session, Travis, and it's one of those things where no current meant you better be figuring out how to catch them.
And one of the biggest things, biggest factors in a tidal fishery and in a big time pressure multi-day tournament is mental toughness. And you've got to believe that your area has got the fish in it and that the tide's going to turn your way at some point, and stick with it and not spin out. But mental toughness is a key to winning the biggest event of your life.
Well, I started off at, it was an island, and it come off to a shallow bar and off to a channel. And on high tide, the fish, they would be up shallow. And then as the tide went down, I worked out with them. That grass is 6 or 8 inches tall. It's, it's right below, about a foot below the surface. And I was just throwing a chatterbait and just trying to tick the top of the grass. But I think the shad were spawning there is why I was catching them early. And I ended up, getting lucky and getting that big one to bite. There's a good one, dude. It's a big one, big one. Stay down, baby. Stay down, baby. Sucker in the net. Get him in the net, get him in the net. Yeah, buddy. Boom. come off in the net. Yes, sir.
Usually I don't get to fish a full season of BFLs, and last year was the first year I got to fish a full season in a while. Requalified for the regional, and then ended up winning it, and here I am in this one. Got one fish in the box, decision time. I want to go both directions on this river, and I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet. Well, I don't know if that might go. What do I think? No, that goes. Girls, there's my first fish.
Day 3, fish 3. Please be 15 because you're fat. Yes. Fish number 4. Day 3, All-American. Fish number 5.
The T-H Marine BFL All-American is brought to you by T-H Marine. From transom to trolling motor, Costa Del Mar. See what's out there. Range your boats. Still building legends one at a time. Evinrude. Learn more on evinrude.com. Polaris, the world leader in off-road vehicles. Yeti, built for the wild. And by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
How about that? Wow, but we got him. How about that, son? Got him. Taking advantage of these bite windows is key on the Potomac River, and as these anglers run around, it is very crucial that you were in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely, Travis. Things happen in a hurry, man. We saw flurries all along the Potomac River all 3 days. It happened for Troy Morrow on day 3. He made a big run down to Aquia and found some docks and caught some fish.
Looks like it might be number 5.
And we saw Brendan McCord make a veteran decision as a 22-year-old to abandon his prime area, run way to the back of Madam Woman Creek and start skipping a chatterbait around. At that exact same time that Troy was catching them, those fish were firing for Brendan, and he moved up the leaderboard because of it.
Number 4. There he is. Good one. Yeah. Number 5. Big one. Pretty good upgrade, ain't it?
It was really easy to focus all your attention to the front of the boat, but really there was 2 tournaments going on.
Absolutely, Travis. These are some of the best co-anglers in the world. They have qualified for the BFL All-American, and they're fishing for up to $50,000 first place prize and a trip to the Coastal Series Championship.
Virginia's Ben Dacey came into day 3 with the lead, got paired up with Joseph Thompson, who's leading the boater side, and could have been an intimidating situation for him, fishing behind a vacuum cleaner like Joseph, but he made the most of his opportunities, set on 4 fish all day, and in the last moments we saw him with an emotional 5th keeper that could have given him the victory.
Thank you, God. Oh, thank you. What a game of highs and lows, man. Losing that fish killed me, and I just said, keep casting, don't give up. And now I got a shot.
Our leader after 2 days, Ben Dacey from Chesterfield, Virginia. To take out Todd Blakeman, you're gonna need yourself 10 pounds and 8 ounces. 5 bass limit for Ben Dacey. Weighs 11 pounds, 11 ounces. He's your All-American champion, co-angler, 2019. Take that right there, Ben, and hold it up high. $50,000. So that was our co-angler side. Now we're getting ready to weigh in the boater side here at the T-H Marine BFL All-American. Have we got any fans out here of some of these boaters? Any family members? Yes, sir. That's what I call 5 bass limit. Look at that stud right there, man. Show them off, my friend. 5 bass limit. Show them off, Brendan McCord. 16 pounds, 3 ounces. After 2 days, your leader on the boater side, Joseph Thompson. Oh, my goodness. We are about to have an All-American champion here on the boater side right now. There is not much more to do other than weigh these fish. 5 bass in the bag for Joseph Thompson. Like I said, I need 13-1. 5 bass limit, Joseph Thompson. 11 pounds, 13 ounces. Brendan McCord is your All-American champion. $100,000. Hold it up high, sir.
Well, I've grown up listening to my dad talk about this, my grandpa talk about it, just how big of an accomplishment it is to even get here, you know what I mean? And then to come here and to win, it's just unbelievable.